who's sending me messages while I'm recording. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, your one and only host,
the Cosmic Jedi.
Welcome back to my channel. Without further ado, today we shall be finally reviewing the Marvel Secret Invasion TV show or Disney Plus show. The very pathetic Marvel Secret Invasion Disney Plus show. At this point, it feels like Disney is playing a game of, oops, looks like we're going down, our empire is falling, psych! It's what we intended all along. Maybe, maybe not, who knows? But so far, almost every Disney Plus show that's released has bombed in some way, shape, or form to a particular select group of people. Maybe, you know, the general-minded people who just like to watch stuff, just want their eyes to be pleased. Some people liked the Eternals movie. What? Oh my god. Anyway, to each their own. People like what they like, people love what they love. Hey, I personally feel the introduction of the Skrulls in the Captain Marvel movie was a wrong decision, especially the way they chose to introduce the Skrulls. Now, I'm going to let you guys know there's going to be slight spoilers for the Captain Marvel movie and the Secret Invasion TV show. So if you haven't seen it, just bear that in mind, there will be some spoilers. I'm intending to keep it a part 1, part 2, but I'll do my best. If it's a part 1 to 4, I don't mind. I enjoy doing the same thing for The Flash. I'm going to record a final video for that Flash movie thing. So let's proceed, shall we? And we'll talk about the choice of words. That's another thing I didn't like about the show. The dialogue didn't make any sense, especially when it comes to the character Nick Fury. I don't know if Marvel is low-key trying to take out certain characters. They did the same thing with Thor. They belittled the intelligence. They did the same thing with Doctor Strange. Certain choices he made in one movie that didn't make sense to me. Based on the way they've introduced Doctor Strange, someone who's gone through his growth and development, they then changed a few things that I was like, if you were to put me in that character's position, that action you just partook in, that choice you just made doesn't make sense for the character as a whole. Not because, I like Doctor Strange, so I wouldn't do it if I was him, but just the way you've introduced us to this character and the experiences he's gone through. Certain decisions you've made this character make is not a smart decision, especially based on their archetypes and their power level, their skill sets. So people who have a particular level of power, you don't write them in stupid ways, especially after they've gone through the arc of gaining the power, learning how to use it, and still using it in wise ways. Anyway, Nick Fury has been introduced into the Marvel world as a competent character, someone whose backup has backup. So he's always preempting certain things. In case this happens, I've got backup for this. In case that happens, I've got backup for this. He's the one guy who even disobeyed the higher up commands that he served under in the first Avengers movie. And he did it again in Captain America Winter Soldier. So again, the way his character operates, he thinks different. He may not have superpowers, but just because I don't have superpowers doesn't mean I'm not going to be useful or applicable in certain situations. And the way he even puts himself in certain situations, he already knows how certain people will think, so he thinks ahead of them. Simple thing saying is playing chess. With someone like him to bring the Avengers together, that's someone who's reading through sheets of paper and saying, okay, I've seen these guys operate a particular way on screen. Putting them together makes sense. Other people denied it. I don't know how you want to put this volatile character, this green guy who turns angry and grows green and can smash things, this old dude who you took out of the ice, this insensitive or whatever, volatile, blah, blah. We already know the spiel. He said it himself, but he chose to put these groups of people together because he could see certain things that were coming down the line, especially based on their power sets. Okay, this guy is capable of doing this, capable of doing that. Imagine someone who's seen that, okay, as they're growing, what if there are threats within and outside that could rival these guys? So if I put these guys together, because they might not be seeing themselves as, you know, I don't know if Tony Stark thought, it'd be cool to work with someone like Captain America, or they each thought to themselves, it'd be nice to work together. I don't know if Captain America ever thought to himself, I would like to work with Bruce Banner one day, but Fury was able to do this. So now, with setting up the Avengers based on how Fury's thinking, the way they diminish his character in this whole 6-episode show, I don't understand how or why they chose to do it. Some people are saying because he's older, so he's a little slower now. People like to make some nice excuses online. But for me, nah. If you're going to retire a character, retire the character. This is someone who put a team together. figured out aliens existed through the Captain Marvel movie, and then went through an experience of being blipped or snapped. Everyone who went through that snapping thing, they died, right? People who go through that don't just come back and they're stupid. Had the one-eyed thing, saw the Flurkin, saw the Skrulls, saw Captain Marvel. After having that experience, why would you write him downhill in this show? This is supposed to be his show / the show for the world. Meaning, he's the first person realizing that the Skrulls of which he encountered in the Captain Marvel movie have now gone rogue for some weird reason. Even the reasoning for doing what they did, especially graphic, doesn't make any sense at all. At all. Let's just watch this clip real quick, shall we?
Fury, why haven't you called any of your special friends down?
Valid question.
This is personal.
Okay.
We can't keep depending on these superheroes to swoop in and save our ass.
This is the same guy who put these superheroes together. And in the first Avengers movie, I remember when his superiors are saying, why are you doing this? I like how you even use the word, we need a response team. Now, you could argue that because they're always busy, that's why you did the Thunderbolts thing, for example. They introduced the Thunderbolt stuff. Or maybe you should have a backup Avengers team. It'd have been wise to even show him planning to add more Avengers to the current lineup, just in case. We didn't even get any discussion with Fury in regards to the passing of Chadwick Boseman. Chadwick, but you know what I mean. The passing of T'Challa, to say, even heroes pass away. So we need to improve our current roster. We need to add more. Who do we have? They might be doing it in the new Captain Marvel movie, the second one, maybe. But at least in between then and now, between this show, they should have had, this show could have been the show where you have that discussion. The numbers is dwindling. Thor is doing his thing. How about the Guardians of the Galaxy stuff? Can we add them to the team as well? Are they permanent members? You could have had discussions to just show, okay, this guy is constantly thinking, especially being that he was the one who set up the Avengers in the first movie. So how is he thinking now, especially after going through the snapping thing, the blip thing? Dude, I don't know how you don't double down on we need a stronger or a bigger Avengers team. Or maybe have different quadrants. How about Avengers LA, Avengers France, Avengers Japan? How about that? How about having different Avenger groups in different parts of the world, just in case what we experience as a species and as other planets experience, so that it doesn't happen again. One being went around different parts of the galaxy to attain these gemstones, then went to one particular group of people to force them to make this gauntlet, and then wiped everyone out just to do that snapping thing, because he believed that the whole cosmos needed balancing. He believed deeply that he so believed that he went on a mission. He didn't care who he destroyed, what planet he killed, as long as he got those stones, and even had the idea in his mind to get the gauntlet made by those specific groups of people. Maybe in the galactic solar system where Thanos went, maybe those the dwarves or the Idris people were the best people to make those. Maybe there are other people in all different parts of the world, cosmos. But he said, no, I'm going to go to these guys, had the schematics done, made it, and then wiped them out. After that experience, there's no way you tell me this guy just answered the question the way he answered. Doesn't make sense. You've made the character dumber now. Because this is the main question we are all asking as the viewers. How are you going to explain to the viewers why he hasn't called any Avenger, not even Avengers, one Avenger down to come and assist him? Not even, she said down as if they're all up in the sky or something. Where are they? My ears pick out this thing sometimes. It's like you've written something and you want us to believe, or you're trying to convince us that this thing is truth. This is bullshit. This is the 5th episode of the season, and it's now they're addressing what we are all asking.
Fury, why haven't you called any of your special friends down?
You'd have to convince the viewers that this thing is so serious, or it's so intricate, not even serious, it's so intricate that Fury doesn't even know who to trust. He's worried that if he calls any Avenger, there might be a Skrull already. Another thing that even ran through my mind was, okay, bear with me. You're working with Talos, right? If I was working with people who could shapeshift, I'm not shitting you guys. I would sit down with this Talos person. Is there a way you guys can tell who is who when you're amongst each other? Can you tell a Skrull in human form? I would have liked to have found a way to understand when I'm talking to a Skrull or not. Is there a gadget Talos could have made? Is there something I could have had made by Talos taken to Shuri or Wakanda to help. So that way, when I'm on a dire situation with my teammates, and just in case something happens and I want to know who to trust and who not to trust, is there a way only I, Talos, and a small select trusted group of people like Maria Hill, we can wear this thing, and then when we are not wearing it, no one else can wear it because we're still trying to figure things out. So just because it's ground level up, instead of having to just make all these tools and gadgets and suits and glasses and whatnot, small little ring here and there, little pendant, earring stud, something. Maybe his eye patch. Or if he takes it off, it's his eye patch. It takes it off, and there's a little contact lens on the damaged eye. Puts it on just so he can tell who is and who isn't a Skrull. Is their heat temperature different? Their signature different? Is their heart rate different? Since their anatomy is similar to humanoids, and even that they didn't even explain. We didn't even get to explore the Skrulls. They forced the Skrulls on us through Captain Marvel crap movie.
Damn, son.
And they made them look docile and stupid. And when Talos was talking, and even the way he was talking, no, scan the mind. Yeah. That doesn't sound like a people who could easily invade a planet and take over slowly. And then if they did, why? What's your motivation? Whereas the Skrulls in the comics are completely different from what they've depicted on screen for us. So now you've chosen to do Captain Marvel, introduce the Skrulls in such a way that even now, I won't lie to you, I'm not looking forward to watching that movie again just to fully understand, because I don't get the plight between them. I know there's a small issue between the Skrulls and the Kree people, and these are people who have been rivaling for a while. I don't know why. I don't care. But now, because of this dumb, pathetic show, I didn't have to watch another dumb, pathetic movie to get the dumb reason they've given to us. Source material is always there for you to just pick from. When people change the source material story drastically, it pisses me off, because everyone who's been a fan of the thing always asks, why have you gone? My guy, you have the free will to change what you want to change, but don't change it so drastically that you're making these people look like clowns. My brother made a very great point when we were watching the show. How can you tell the difference between 10 Skrulls when they're in front of you? Because they all look the same. Like the people on Gamora's planet, they're all green, but is the hue of green darker, lighter, patches, maybe? One part of the hue is darker than the other part. There's obviously different forms. They're shorter, slimmer, thicker, taller, whatever, musclier, not musclier. But he meant the pigmentation hue is this a combination of blue, green, and purple. There's no red somewhere, there's no black somewhere, there's no brown somewhere or orange somewhere, just to distinguish. And they haven't even introduced to us what it feels like to be a Skrull, meaning a people who have been created by a higher being, the same way the people of Groot were created, the same way the people of Drax were created. How do the Skrulls operate? I assume, I could be wrong, but I assume every other people or species from Groot's people do the same thing. If another creature from Groot's land is Fera, I am Fera, they will do the same thing Groot does. I am Groot, they'll do the same thing Fera does. You know, if one was called Fera or Timulu or Telak, I am Telak. They'll repeat themselves in that way, but even though they're having a conversation. And like Thor said, they speak tree, right? Drax people as well, they're all literal, thesaurus, whatever thing. So with that being said, how are the Skrulls? How do they think? What does it feel like to be a species that can look like other humanoid species? Can they turn into cats, dogs, animals, underwater creatures? Can they turn into mermaids? Can they shapeshift into Atlanteans? Can they shapeshift into creatures that can live outer space? How strong is their anatomy? How advanced is their anatomy? How powerful is it? How well can they mimic other creatures?
Come on, don't bullshit me.
That gives you a sense of the mindset of a species. If you were to say some people feel, or some Skrulls feel like they're superior to other humanoid species. And then that whole theme where Talos was like, oh, you have to show them your heart and show them that we're kind, we're good, we reach out to them with our heart. When I was watching that scene, I was like, what do you reach out to who? Human beings don't even know you exist, and they haven't even shown anything on screen where maybe Jonah Jameson is complaining that they're green-skinned people walking around. And if they did that, you'd make human beings sound stupid and unintelligent. We all witnessed the first Avengers movies, when these things are coming through the sky and Leviathan creatures are flying in the sky, if you want to say you have a phobia of aliens coming in, you wouldn't do it in such a way where you say someone who is running around green is annoying me. Why would someone react to seeing a green skinned creature? Why would you, as a species who have ended up on Earth and have, for whatever reason, decided to live here because they're looking for a new home, and even that idea, oh my God, Marvel and Disney, una stupid pass. In fact, I say stupid, it makes me feel stupider. More than myself to be paying money to be watching this nonsense. Sometimes I do think to myself, it's easy to sit down here. Well, not so easy. To write notes, to critique these shows, and writing choices and writing decisions. People are getting paid for this. People are getting their money in their pocket. People have already eaten their money. They've traveled to Ibiza. They've gone on holiday. They've married. They're paying for their children's school fees, all that kind of stuff. Whilst you are just making dumb shows, you don't care.